why do we work in a strategic partnership in India with Unlimit? And let me tell you, the very simple truth is that I do believe very much in the concept of Unlimit within the Reliance Group as an independent, IoT-focused enterprise. And that is very, very important because IoT as such is working across many different industry verticals. And you cannot really relate that technology to any single part of the verticals. And therefore, an independent player in the market to be able to offer managed connectivity as well as data analytics, real-time data analytics and data visualization in one package, both cloud-enabled, will really enable enterprises in India to be much more digital and much smarter, much faster. So the cooperation in India really helps enterprises and customers to gain immediate and affordable access to IoT technology in an instant with a software as a service concept. And this picture here shows you some of our global customers. Currently, Cumulocity is available now with India in 25 markets globally as a software as a service concept, and very often as a white labeled concept. That means we are selecting strategic partners in the market and they are using their brand and their go-to-market power in order to enable software as a service propositions. Currently we have over 1,500 accounts, so customers already using Cumulocity software. What's the vision? So when we started to develop the technology 7 years ago, what was our ambition? What do we wanted to create? And one simple idea was that we really want to help businesses to revolutionize their operations. And I think Jürgen gave us very nice examples already. You know, predictive maintenance, spare part management, asset tracking, remote management and control of devices, automated optimization of your assets, routing, transportation. There are massive examples. And we have seen cost reductions using IoT technology of up to 40% of operational cost in some of our customer installations. And therefore, so it's one thing to enable these new technologies, is the other one how you deliver them. And our ambition has been right from the beginning to use cloud technology to enable it in very few minutes, without coding, without software coding. And I think that fits this concept and technology, our vision, fits perfectly into the Indian market. Because it reduces the upfront investment fundamentally. You can pay as you go, you increase as you add new products or employees into the new digital environment. And I think that's a very important part of the proposition. So what does it mean creating an IoT software as a service solution in just a few minutes? And we are just trying to, very on a high level, trying to summarize 4 important parts of the solution building, what you have to do usually. First of all, you have to connect the device. So, or a thing. Internet of Things, a thing, a machine, a compressor, a pump, a car, a truck, you know, any type of thing. So how can you connect it in 5 minutes? And that's really an innovation which is available now from today up onwards in the Indian market. And that's possible because we have been implementing over 300 different protocols which speak actually the language of machine. Let me put it in very simple words. We speak the machine language, and each machine has a different language. There's no standards like in the mobile communication where you have a simple way of connecting smartphones. So that's why you have multi-vendor devices in operator mobile networks. In Internet of Things, that's actually not the case. You have to talk to pumps, compressors, cars, trucks in a very simple way. And you need to translate the language of that device, and there's no standard around it. And that's something we have been doing for the last 7 years, and we speak 300 different languages of different verticals in different industries so that we can very easily connect to these machines. And then we get the data. So we call it as a stream of data now coming in, a flow of data from these machines. They're telling us what they're doing, what they're producing, how they do, how they feel, alarms, etc. What you then do is you want to visualize it. Yeah? You want to see, so what is happening with the data? The data coming in, you want to now visualize it. You draw charts, you kind of visualize alarms, you visualize location of the machines. It's also we are able to do that without software coding in just a few minutes. And the next thing is, once you have it in your platform, you also want to do something with the data, right? You want to analyze the data. You want to create value add on top of the analyzation of the data. Think the example from Europe, predictive maintenance is a very hot topic in Europe. You want to know before the machine fails that the machine is getting into a problem. You want to go on site, repair it before it breaks in order to keep the production ongoing. And then the fourth area is integration. Very often it's not a standalone thing. You have already IT technology in your enterprises. You already have, for example, an ERP system from Oracle or from SAP. Now you need to get the data and you need to connect it to your back office processes in order to improve your overall setup and operation. So these are the four main steps you usually do when you introduce an IoT project. And we can do that now together in India with the unlimited enablement technology in a few minutes rather than in weeks of system integration development. And that's really the new announcement what we have today. So let me now try to make it very concrete, because it's sort of a bit abstract if you talk about this technology, what that really means. I have now a couple of examples with me in order to make it kind of tangible, and I'm very happy also after our presentation to have discussions with you that we can really look at it and also discuss how we can make that available for the Indian market. So first off, the demonstration I would like to give you is predictive maintenance. So analyzing before you run into a problem. And then the second one I would like to introduce you on the live side is the grid element monitoring, so smart grid management. We do monitor transformator stations for the Indian market. And then last but not least, I also would like to show you a telematics type of service in a very easy way. Okay, so let's move into the live demonstration now of the technology. And as you can see here, it's a web-based, it's a cloud-based service. You have a standard web browser. You can access the technology and platform. And by the way, this is now just a user interface. What you usually do not see is actually the technology behind the platform to make that happen. I have here various what we call tenants available. What does tenant means in the cloud platform? It's a software as a service concept, and you need to have multiple tenants. You need to have data, very high security and high data separation in a multi-tenant environment. That's exactly what we have underlying the technology, what you don't see from a user interface. You also don't see that it's high available. It includes very robust concepts for ensuring that the service is always online. And you don't see, the whole data encryption, security parts. So there's really this, what we call software engineering sides from the platform is something you usually don't see when you look at the application layer. Just wanted to make sure that you understand there's much more behind than just the application. On the other hand, applications are very important. But okay, let's now look into that predictive maintenance example. What you can see here is what is called a steam generator as an example here. And what does the steam generator does? It's actually producing steam. For example, we run steam generators in many hospitals across the country. At the moment we're using that in Europe. They produce steam in order to sterilize equipment from the hospitals. And they need to make sure it's always up and running and working. What you can see here is a visualization how that machine looks, and you can imagine there could be any type of machine now. In this example, it's just a steam generator, but could be anything. And you have then the live data of that in the same way as in the past the service technician would go into the hospital and look at the steam generator. Because these people, you know, they do that since 20 years maintaining these type of equipment, and now they want to kind of, you need to pick them up in order to use these new tools. And they want to look at it as if they would be in front of the physical machine. And what they usually do, the first thing what they're doing, they're looking here at the instrument, and here at the instrument, and checking what's the health, what's the condition of the machine, is everything in order or not. And that's what they can do now remotely from the head office to maintain these machines. So that's the first thing what you have. We call that actually this visualization, we call that SCADA view. It can be much more complex. It can have a full factory setup where you look at the whole factory and identify sensors, production figures, and see the whole flow of a factory. And have actually an ample system. Is the factory working online? Is it in green? Or is there something emerging problems with yellow or then red where you have a critical alarm? So it can be very complex diagrams. I took here a very simple one, just a steam generator. And then what you can do once when you introduce the steam generator to the platform, you can of course fully control it. Yeah? So you have all the functionality like what you would do you know, when you are on site. Here's it's what is called human machine interface. It's a small display you see usually on these machines on site where you configure it. You can do exactly the same immediately, remotely with the Cumulocity or with the unlimited enablement platform. And you of course have here a lot of more information you need. You have live data coming in, etc. And so this is just one example, and I'm actually now moving into another example. What you usually can do is let me maybe take a more an example related to an electric bike. Electric bike is a hot topic at the moment in Europe and the United States. And electric bikes usually can help you to increase your range of your bicycle area. A lot of people commute to work with electric bikes. Unfortunately, they are much faster as usual bikes. Electric bikes are, you know, you go 40 kilometers per hour, so they're much faster. And what happens is we see a lot of accidents at the moment from users using electric bikes. What we are doing now with many electric bike manufacturers in Europe, we are connecting electric bikes to the internet to analyze the condition of the bike, the battery status, also tracking the bike locations, also enabling theft protection. We can remotely block the electric engine so the bike cannot be used. But also what is very important is we have a shock sensor implemented into the bike, so that if you have an accident, the emergencies are immediately alerted if you do not pick up the bike and put it back into a vertical position within 20 or 30 seconds. And that is really a very important initiative, and we actually see now the European Union actually taking that up in order to, they're thinking of enforcing that at a European-wide actually requirement for electric bike manufacturers. I just want to give you flavors and ideas what is happening when you introduce something to the internet. You can analyze the data and create different types of services with it. And that's just one example where you can do that in a very easy way. You see here bikes with different alarm status. You can also click on them, obviously, see what's the situation of the alarm. Like here you had some issue on the battery level. And just checking here, when you do live presentations, it's always important to have a good internet connection. I think here I have an issue with that. But let me go to another example. It's actually healthcare. So this is now a healthcare project run to maintain the conditions, the health of elderly people at home, or any person with some issues staying at home, and you want to monitor conditions and monitor the condition of that person in real time. Here you have now a list of different patients. I'm just clicking on that list of the patients, and you see then, if you click on one of the patients, you see alarms, you see the condition, you have kind of an ample system with green, yellow, blue, and here you have different sensors connected to it. You see the temperature, so you see the blood pressure, you have the heart conditions monitored. So you have a dashboard of the condition of a person who is in need of monitoring. However, what has been proven is that monitoring at home, if it's possible, increases the time for people to resolve the issue. So monitoring in a home environment with your family and friends helps you a lot, rather than staying in hospitals. And with new technologies, it's possible to actually transfer people faster from hospital back to home, but still have the monitoring, the health care management fully enabled. I think that is very nice, another example of what Internet of Things will do for people, also here in India. Okay, so I have a couple of more examples with me, but just finishing off with the last one. I'm going back from a more patient type of monitoring, back to an industrial smart grid example. Here we have the overview of transformator stations. You know, as you may know, that transformator stations are an important part of the electricity grid. They actually transform the power from low voltage to high low voltage or vice versa. And if they break, you have a problem with the electricity in a certain area. Unfortunately, transformator stations are very, let's say, temperature dependent. And especially here in India, we have been seeing issues with transformer stations during the hot period of the year. And what we do here is now we have an overview of some transformer stations, and you can basically, I'm just selecting the first one, you click on it, and then you can drill down and analyze what's the situation. You see here, that's the transformer station, how it looks like, the picture, but usually there is actually housing around that. So it's an unmanned transformer station with housing around, but that's from an equipment point of view. You see the data then, you see here what's the temperature, what's the humidity, what's the energy consumption, or the current billing level. So you have a lot of information immediately available. And again, what you do there is you manage across, for example, a region in India or a whole of India. You help keeping the smart grid, so the power supply, ongoing in a more automated way. And that was my last example. So that gives you a bit of I hope, a bit more flavor what we mean when we talk about platform. All of these cases, by the way, have been enabled through the unlimited enablement platform now available in the market without software coding, just configuring. Just configuring these different dashboards, introducing the different equipment, transformer stations, or steam generators, or cars, whatever you want to add into the platform. So it's a very powerful use to enable digitalization in India. Okay.